And that's what happened right there. We're just live right now.
Live right now?
Yeah, and the folks are gonna start. They're gonna start flowing in. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna chill. We're gonna be
I like that.
doing some
The
game
vibes.
jam testing. You know what I mean?
I do.
I'm gonna take a
I'm excited to
second.
test games with you.
Take a second. I'm gonna sip on this water.
Oh man,
Just enjoy
I
life.
didn't realize my robot head would be a little see-through.
Is it? How are you see through?
I don't know, but it's cool. It's okay.
No.
Blue, and now it's
Oh,
blue
that
eye.
robot head. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah. Not
It's
this
weird that the
robot head. This
tolerance.
robot head.
Yeah, I thought because there have been times before when we have streamed and like the lighting hits you just right where it's like a bright spot, right? Like I have a bright spot going on right now on my forehead, and then it'll just feel like that's invisible, like transparent.
That happens to Alex quite frequently. Like he'll go into an area where like he's in a green pasture or whatever, and he
Yeah.
looks perfect. And then his character runs into this green pasture, and all of a sudden he's snowy see-through.
So my cup is also invisible.
Monitors.
Look at that. Look at how I just went away. It's not a black cup. Turns out it's green. So
It's a wonderful green.
I can just make myself disappear at any time,
green.
like Harry Potter's cloak or whatever. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the GMAE show, where here on this channel we play the games that you created for an upcoming game jam to help you make higher quality and more complete games. Folks, we have some submissions today that have come in. If you did not know, when you sign up for a game jam, you have an option to receive an email. And in said email is a form you can fill out to have your games play tested on this show. Lucas's mic needs to be louder. We're going to turn Lucas up. Thank you so much, Cyber Dragon. So we, on this show, we're going to open up the games you've created if you've published them inside the Sandbox Game Maker gallery with the title, in this particular case, AS5GJ, which means Alpha Season 5 Game Jam. And the goal of this playtest is to give you some feedback before the submission deadline ends on this particular game jam, because there are huge prizes to be had in this game jam. Before we get into playtesting your games, I want to talk about what's going on with the game jam. Officially started on April 2nd, but not yet ending until May 17th. There's a 100,000 sand cryptocurrency prize pool on the line, as well as 20 land 1x1 publishing spaces inside the metaverse that are available, and 10 catalyst packs. All right. Inside this particular game jam, we are asking players who want to create to discover new abilities, which is to say, use some of the new features from that 0.11 update that released, including flight, double jump, air dancing, and any other new features that are new to this current version. So, Tom Voxel saying, oh, I thought 5 is read as S, so it's Alpha Season S, you know what I mean? Do that as an acronym. So anyway, no time to create assets. You can use the asset libraries built into, there we go, the Sandbox Game Maker software, including the Lost Jungle theme, the Volcano theme, the Amusement Park Arcades theme, or the Island theme, as ways to help push you in the right direction. And some of the feedback I'll be giving on this show is to help you learn. If you just use those default themes, how do we learn about terraforming or better positioning your NPCs with intention, or your objectives with intention, so that the player is driven to move in certain ways naturally without having to do a lot of extra high quality, low quality play, right? We want to make sure your people are having fun when they're playing your game, so that if you do win one of those 20 land NFTs, you will have you'll have your players wanting to come into those lands, wanting to come back and play your game more after this game jam has ended. All right. So let's talk about what the prizes are for this game jam, and then we'll jump into some of these games. We've already got some submissions to that form. A couple of games to play here today. We'll be playing a game called Rotate Rush and another game called Tit for Tat as part of the Alpha Season 5 game jam. These games you can play right now inside the Sandbox Game Maker software. But those prizes, the top prize, first place in this competition, is 18,000 sand tokens. And that sand can be used. If you are not an artist, you can go over to the marketplace at sandbox.game. You can use the sand that you win from this competition to purchase arts and assets that you can then use again in the Game Maker software, and using that to make your next game. Or you can use that sand to buy more lands in any upcoming land sales, or purchasing lands from other users over on third-party marketplaces like OpenSea.io or other services. First place, 18,000 sand, a 1x1 land, which a 1x1 land will be included in all subsequent rewards. So I'm going to just leave that there. And a gold catalyst pack. So a gold tier catalyst pack allows you to, if you are an artist, you can mint your own arts that you create inside the asset creation software VoxEdit. And once you have minted those arts, that allows you to have given it a unique certificate of authenticity saying this is the real art that the original artist created. And then you can take that, now that it has been minted, and you can sell it or trade it to someone as you like for those arts that you create. So if you created something really unique for this particular game jam that's an art that you're just publishing inside this experience, inside the Game Maker, then you would be able to take that super unique asset. In this particular case, Alpha Season 5 is generally themed around the Jurassic Park franchise, things like that. So maybe you made a really cool Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? And you want to sell that on the marketplace. A gold catalyst pack will allow you to mint that into an asset that you can then resell. Forgive me. Second place, 14,000 sand cryptocurrency. I can't believe I did that. It's going to happen again. 14,000 sand, a 1x1 land, and a silver catalyst pack. Third place, 10,000 sand, 1x1 land, and a silver catalyst pack. Fourth place, 8,000 sand, 1x1 land, silver catalyst pack. Fifth place, 6,000 sand, silver catalyst pack. 1x1 land is in there. And then 6th through 10th place in this competition, all getting 4,000 sand, a 1x1 land, and a bronze catalyst pack. And the difference between the tiers in the catalyst pack is essentially the rarities that you'll be able to mint. And the rarities can slightly affect the stat lines that you can put on certain items. But if you want to learn more about that, come check out the Panda Pops live stream on Mondays, and she'll teach you all about that sort of thing. Honorable mentions also possible in this competition. Maybe you don't get into the top 10. And I'm testing, dozens and dozens of games that get submitted, and I just see one that I think, wow, you had excellent world design, but clearly didn't have enough time to finish the game. Or you had really, really great narrative design, but something broke, so maybe it doesn't get into that top 10. I can still offer, when I say I mean a panel of people. There's certainly more than just me, but I am one of the voters. Honorable mentions get 2,000 sand and a 1x1 land when we see something that seems special, but maybe you just didn't have enough time to finish it, or maybe you didn't have enough experience to finish it, and that's okay too. We want to see people grow in this game jam space so that the games can continue to be stronger inside the metaverse, and you can be stronger as a game developer. So, all of that said, the submission deadline for your experience is April 29th. So take this feedback that I'm going to give to these few folks here and adjust your games as you like. Maybe you totally disagree with me. That's cool too. But I've been doing this for a while. I'm up to, what do we got? As
He's a professional.
Like 1,800 tests, something like that in this ecosystem now. Not counting the individual tests that come through with game jams, and game jams average, somewhere between 50 and 75 submissions per game jam over the last 5-6 years. So got a lot of these under my belt. a lot of tests. So hopefully I can give you some good quality feedback. But once again, if you hate it, throw it out because you're the dev and you know what's best for your game. That said, let's get into it. We've got the Game Maker software.
That being said, I would like to add one thing real quick.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Being a game dev, one of the things that I notice time and time again is that you know how to play your game. You made it. Of course, you know how to play it. You know exactly the path that you need to travel to get from point A to point Z as efficiently and effectively as possible. Just understand that no player will ever do that. They will take that path that they're supposed to take and they will do the exact opposite thing. And they will do it time and time again.
Yeah.
And the reason this QA work is so invaluable is because it gives you an outsider's perspective on how individuals that did not make the game and do not know line by line how they're supposed to play it, how they will approach things, and you will see things in a completely different light, and it is so incredibly valuable. And I cannot stress enough, if you don't have professional QA work done, then have your friends test it. If you don't have your friends test it, have strangers test it. Have Joe test it, have the council test it, have somebody test it that's not you, because that'll only make things better.
Yes, it's the industry term for what Lucas is talking about is called first-time user experience, right? So again, you as a dev, you know exactly how to play your game, and we've seen it happen a whole bunch of times on this show. And one of the cool things that'll happen here is if you're watching live, sometimes I've seen the developers come through, right, and they'll be like, "No, turn left." Like, I'm not going to read the chat for the purposes of that, right? I will completely ignore like telling me how to play the game, because what you're going to see when I play through this, if you're watching it back on the VOD or you're watching it live, is that I'm doing it wrong, which means a lot of players are going to do it wrong, because I've said it a bunch of times. Hey Nero, it is Joseph, yes. I've said it a whole bunch of times that I try to play this game like I'm 5 years old, right? Like I've never played video games before. I have understanding of the mechanics. I'll probably parkour a little bit better than some people will in this, but still I'm gonna approach it like I've never played a video game in my life and try to give you that feedback as we go along.
Yep. And the fun thing is like I really enjoy doing QA work with friends when I do their games, because I'm terrible at playing games. I am not a pro gamer. And so they get to see the perspective of somebody who's just, really bad and will fumble a lot.
Yeah.
I have fun with games, but I'm never going to get it right the first time. So they get to see the perspective of somebody who's not intuitively just inclined to just fly through a game.
Okay, so right away, we've got...
I like the look.
Yeah, the look is good. I'm wearing the shoes that I know can allow me to double jump, but that's insider knowledge. The player's not going to know that. However, you've got a prompt on the left that it might catch their eyes. So we spawn and we're looking like this. We get this video that's telling us how to double jump. So there's a fair chance that could happen. But the environment looks nice. I like the way that things are looking. We're in some kind of a club or an arcade. It does say arcade over here, but it definitely has a club vibe. And we've just got one goal: start the race. Race starts in. We've got a timer happening. We've got some nice audio cues that are triggering. It's letting us know things are moving. All right, now rotate, rush, get ready.
Wow, I just got ghosted.
Am I supposed to pick up stars? I want to. We can climb, that's good. Okay. I got a checkpoint and a star. Oh! Okay, now we're... Oh boy, okay. Jumps not too difficult because we have this nice double jump. Oh, yep. We're
That's cool.
Oh boy. Good, 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 good. Okay. So we're playing like free to play. Epic Games bought it. Characters are very squishy looking. Super popular like 2 years ago. Did I just die? Oh! Wait, what's this? What's this? There's two ways. There's two ways to go. This is the way that I came from. Okay, so that could be a bit confusing, right? I think for your player, this checkpoint, we spawned and we were looking that way. But that's backwards. So, right here in this area, I would recommend
I see what you're saying.
that you show the player off of the left and the right sides of this tunnel here, like one right here. A set of arrows needs to point towards this flag that we're on, because you're going to spawn in if you die from the squishy thing, and you know, obviously we want to go this way.
Could they also lower the arrow?
This
On the outside
this one
lower it a
right
little
here,
bit?
or
Yeah. Oh, I
that
guess you
one.
can't.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the one that's actually pointing up. If they could lower that, then it wouldn't be visible when you're on this side as well. But you're right, just changing the position of the spawn plate, positioning of the spawn plate, so you're looking at the arrow when you spawn.
Yeah, if we can make it so we're looking that way, then that's great. Otherwise, you're just gonna want more of these pointy arrows. Like where that dragon is over there should just be pointing us, go this way. Like you need a lot of wayfaring in this level if you're gonna have checkpoints like that one. Okay.
I always listen to Golden Dragon, 100% of the time. It's good advice.
What? Okay. So we're seeing a damaging effect that seems to happen longer than the apparent movement of the
Laggy.
yeah. So I think what's happening here is you're having a logic piece. Fall Guys, thank you, Cyber Dragon. That was the word I was looking for way earlier. So when these two weights are coming together, it seems like you have a logic on two platforms. And when the logic is coming in, it is then triggering. Instead of having a logic trigger based on these two things come in, put a logic asset right between the squishy things on the same amount of time, base it on a timer, make sure it has no collision, and make sure then it triggers something that deals damage next to it based on that timer. So this is 1 second. 1, 2, 3. 3 seconds, right? If that is the platform timer for inside, outside, make sure your platforms are set to 1.5 seconds, so it's 1.5 seconds in, 1.5 seconds out. Then your logic thing that you stuck between the two platforms that are squishing me needs to say 3 seconds, trigger this death thing. Because what's happening is the logic platforms are coming in and there's a bit of latency issue. And so you got like 500 milliseconds or like half a second of lag for the actual damage effect to trigger and go off. And we can avoid that lag by making sure it's not because these two platforms come together, but because the logic itself is triggering on a timer. Because I can get through, but I got to be more patient than I should be able to be patient, if that makes sense. I want the...
There's going to be some people that don't understand what happened in that situation, and they're just going to be like, why did I die? They're going to get needlessly frustrated, and they're going to stop playing.
Exactly. Yeah, you want that squish to be the damage. The visual effect needs to match that, always.
Mm-hmm.
I assume these platforms could disappear. Turns out they can't. So I think one thing that you're doing that's really good so far, Tobin, is you have created an experience that the difficulty curve seems to be going up appropriately. Like that platform was slightly smaller than any other platform I've jumped on so far. The spinny platforms gave a lot of grace because of the double jump feature. They might have been there a little bit too early for difficulty curve. I probably would have put the rotating, cylinder first before the spinning platforms. But overall, you've got really solid flow for a difficulty curve.
Got a message from Tom Boxel in the chat. He says, if there are two animations on those assets, just use messages on start and end of opening/closing animations to turn kill message on off. It will be exact timing to what you see and no delay.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Something weird is happening here. And almost nobody's going to have this problem. But because of the bright yellow edges and that high contrast between the different colors, victory. What? A victory just triggered immediately at 6 minutes. I'm gonna restart this.
You won.
We're gonna speed run up to that point.
Also, just a heads up, I became ghostly at some point when we first started the game. I don't know why.
Okay.
Transparent.
He's ghostly. He's ghostly. We're gonna just
Vox Machina in the house. Hey, friend, how are you?
We're gonna try it. What's good? Did that work? Less smoothness. I think that fixed you. Yeah.
I'm much less transparent now.
There's a little thing in the corner that's bothering me, but I'm gonna just go ahead and snip that out. There you go. You're cropped a little harder now. Good enough for government work. You need to be the owner of this experience in order to open it. What? I'm gonna have to fix that chat. That's good. Let's reopen this page for a sec, real quick.
Have to fix what? Whoa!
It glitched a little bit. It
Happens.
Can't believe.
I swear, this has never happened before. You're playing in Game Maker right now.
Yes.
I didn't realize that at first.
Yes. It's a necessary component of the game jam because they
100% is.
Don't have the land, maybe, possibly. So, Okay. Once again,
Bottle Hill says we could still use Lucas's mic turned up a bit if possible.
Turned down for what? Yeah.
It's true.
That's as loud as Lucas gets.
Uh-oh.
So in the future, no, I mean, I turned you up a little. But.
Oh, gotcha.
Basically, at this point, if you need Lucas louder, just tell him to yo.
I can do that. I'm using my inside voice.
Otto says, make out with the mic, Lucas.
I will not.
It's a shame.
Me and the microphone haven't gotten to that level on our relationship yet. We're taking it slow. Slow and steady.
ASMR sesh. All right, so let's get back into this.
Yes.
Let's go quick, go fast. I can speed run to get to that point. Let's go.
I'm really digging the arcade vibe.
Absolutely.
I really do enjoy that.
Yeah. It's nice. Get ready, because it's not fun. Here we go. Me just not even caring. Just climb.
You have the ability.
Take that checkpoint, even though I don't probably need it.
I was just traversing this like a parkour expert.
Another checkpoint. Alright, here we go.
I can run on a log in real life, but I cannot run on a log in games to save my life.
We're here. We're back. Right where we were. Oh, wait. Can I fall off that? Oh, you can't fall off here. That's great.
Nice.
All right, so we got this checkpoint. Anyway, so let's talk about what was going on here. It spins.
Yeah, you're already back. Wow.
It spins, and that high contrast means that I'm going to get dizzy. And I say that because I have a 43-inch display, and it was making me actively dizzy seeing that. Oh, good gravy! What's... Okay, this is some American Gladiator business here.
I
Okay.
was just about to say, is your name Laser? Because you just got gladiatored.
Oh, Lord.
That's a rolling pin or a jousting pole, if ever I've seen one.
Okay, so we're good. We're good. We're going up. I can't see where I'm going here on this one. Okay, here's another suggestion. Small thing, not a big deal. But I recommend you do not use these blocks with the grid lines, I'm going to call it. A lot of people use these. It was an early thing. I'll tell you why, Lucas. Because when I do this right here, you'll notice, streamer, viewer, possibly later on YouTube. Sorry for making you probably a little wonky. That the quality of the video just went down. There's a thing in video streaming called bitrate, and in order for the video rendering software to understand or to translate those thin lines moving around very quickly, it uses more data. And a service like Twitch.tv or YouTube Live is going to compress your video down to a certain bitrate. Lower bitrates mean less data can be translated, if that makes sense. So when I do this, it might make Lucas and I look blurry. We want your streaming players to also, just don't do that. I know, just don't do that. But when your players are running fast through your experience, that effect is going to happen naturally in your games. So if you have a bunch of these like metaverse style tiles, these grid-like tiles in your game, it can cause that bitrate to go down, which is going to impact how many people want to watch your game be played. And how many people are watching your game be played affects how many people are playing your game. Small thing, but it's going to matter as a game developer. Okay, so I'm going to assume I'm sliding down this bad boy. Yeah, here we go.
Probably.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is.
Watch your beans.
Oh, we got all the beans. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, get out of here. Get out of here, thing. This is cool puzzle.
To address what Cyber Dragon said about just don't do that. How many times have you gone to the doctor and you're like, man, doctor, it hurts when I do this? And he's like, yeah, so just don't do that. And your exact thought is, don't tell me how to live my life.
Oh, this is cool. Okay. All right. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Okay. That was cool.
I love the fall animation.
All the other stuff was fine, but that was cool. So one of the cool things that I like to highlight when you are having your players play your games is to give them a sense of accomplishment when they complete the thing, right? And that was just that fall with the rings. It allowed me to have some type of a challenge. It allowed me to collect a bunch of the stars I was trying to get all at once, and it felt like a celebration. Clearly, the confetti exploding when I landed was even more so. But it was like, oh, the finish line is not only in sight, but we've still got goals. Cyber Dragon, the game is not at the moment, as far as I can tell, published on land. But if you want to check on the map, you can also look for Rotate Rush as one word. It's squished together. Or you can find it inside that Sandbox Game Maker gallery right now. I imagine that this user will probably end up... I'm getting ahead of myself, but the flow of the game was good. The design of the art was intentional. The game is very replayable. If I played it with a lot of people, that seems to be enjoyable. It ran off of a format that's familiar, but felt like it is its own. Good. It's a good game.
It was fun.
I would want to play it.
It was aesthetically pleasing. It was one of those games that ends quick, and I want to reiterate Joe's idea of like a celebration at the end. There's nothing more frustrating than finishing a game and it just being done.
Yeah.
Like that's just not fair. Like let me know that I have either won or lost, or just that the game is over. Do something to tell me that things are finished.
Yeah.
Because when you don't, that's just mean. That's mean.
Now, what may be a suggestion that I might leave? Okay. If you're going to have your game or experience record best times permanently, then at the moment, you've got to have this results screen, which means there has to be a victory or an end. I think you did something right in this game. Not only did we get our celebration at the end, but you also had a nice long timer after that. Not too long, but it was like, whatever, 45 seconds that gives other players a chance to finish the race. This race being 4 minutes on, when I slowed down a little bit, assume people fall and fail. That's probably the average for players, is right around 3 or 4 minutes to finish this race. That extra 45 seconds gives 10 or 15 more people, 15% more people a chance to finish and get that celebration at the end. And that will make them want to come back for more. So you have an opportunity to not end the race. You could potentially not give them this results screen and just have the finish line respawn you back at the beginning. So you get like your celebration timer, and you have a section maybe at the finish line that says back to start, and send somebody back to go again. So, and what will happen, the difference between these two things is, if you want to incentivize competition and hope that your player is driven by being better than themselves and better than other people, take them to this results screen. But if you want somebody to play this like an arcade game, where they simply just forget what time it is in the day, and they're playing with their 4, 5, 10 friends, whatever, then make them respawn back somewhere else and don't give them this results screen. So this is an arcade industry trick. If you ever notice, you go into an arcade.
I've never noticed that, but now that you say it, I think about it. It's happened to me a bunch.
There's no clock in an arcade. There's no clock in a casino, right? Like, if you want somebody to get lost in your game, you can't give them this opportunity, right? So it's a different thing. It's a different thing to think about. But when you give somebody this results screen and I press enter, what am I going to get? I'm going to get my times as recorded. I'm going to see how I compare. That's cool. But it's going to say play again. And now I'm starting to think, do I have time for that? I should probably cook. I should probably clean this thing, right? And so what you
now
can...
would be a good time for something else.
Exactly. And if you want your player to get lost in your content for hours, you can't give them these screens. But again, it's two different possibilities.
Styles.
So yeah. So I'm gonna play again one more time. Okay, so the play again button not working right now. I don't know what's good with that, but I'm gonna have to hit somebody inside the Sandbox internal team to fix that really quickly. But for now.
While you're reloading that, we did have a question from Tom Voxel.
Sounds great.
He asked, how many games are on the list for playtesting today? Missed the tiny font in the email to register.
You can register right now, Tom, if you like. We've got just one more prescribed game listed. It looks like it may be Sirlank. Their experience called Tit for Tat is in here. We're going to give that a run through. But typically we run this show for about an hour and a half, and I've got about an hour left. So that last experience was a lot cleaner than many that have been submitted in the past. So that's really, really good. Yeah. And it looks like we have a few other AS5 GJs that we could plug in if your experience is not included in there. But I'm going to go for this one called Tit for Tat, because this was on the request list. And then we'll go from there.
Tom, I would love to see your game. So what's it called? Drop us the information. Also, we've got an ad break starting in about a minute and a half.
Can't believe. All right. Sounds good. Guess what? If you're watching this on YouTube live or over on x.com/the Sandbox Game, You don't get ad breaks. Just saying.
It's a thing. Also, it was the name of that one game from Sir Alakin?
It was not. It was
Okay.
definitely Sir Lank. But okay, so a lot going on here. Right away. Right, huh.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out if this is intentional. It looks like your world is upside down.
A little bit, yeah.
But is that because these assets are just poking through the ground above? Huh. I have to think about this. So, okay, so the first thing that I'm going to leave as a feedback on this experience before I've even moved is that we don't have, I would say, an art direction on this. And, you know, maybe that's okay because the obviously this is a game jam, right? And you're submitting the core gameplay portion. But if I'm going to compare just right away the previous experience that appeared to have an art direction, like the art direction on the previous experience, I would give that like a 4.8 out of 5 if I'm, it's a 5-star scale. Uh, my nose is so itchy today. I gotta like
It's because you shaved recently.
literally actually, yeah, I got like a new face shaving thing. And it has a nose trimmer thingy. Oh boy, it's rough, but it's real tickly in there. Anyway, sorry, that's probably too much for a stream like this. You know what I mean?
No. I'm
Um,
happy that we heard that today.
so anyway, so the art direction on the previous experience was really cohesive. It was intentional design, and it was original creation. Whereas in this, many of these things are borrowed, and that's okay. But it's going that the art direction, like the flow of the level, is clearly like obviously I have to get up top, but eventually it looks like I'm going to be coming down to here again when I've registered for the next race, and the end goal isn't apparent yet. Um, Maybe the end goal is here again, but anyway, I'm just seeing. I'd like to see a more clean art direction as I jump into the experience right away. It's clear where I need to go because it says register for next race, and that's right in front of me. But you might actually be better off putting the register for the next race in a tiny box rather than have it be open like this. So now I see I spawned over here. So put that lobby right next to this gate. Okay, I want to jump on those platforms, and the platforms come up from out of the lava.
And historically speaking, lava bad.
Okay. Wait, hold up. Lava actually not bad. Lava fine.
Okay.
So
You're a lava monster?
jumping into this second section, this I would change that asset or make it do a murder. You know, that should damage the player if it's going to be designed where its color is lava. Otherwise, I want to talk about something else that's happening really quickly in my brain. As we spawn into the experience, there's no indication that things are mystical or magical. And if we're world building in your experience, why do platforms fly? Why is lava exploding around us? Why is there a dragon in the sky? Talk to me, right? Not just register for the next experience, but have some NPCs that are in there that say why the world is the way that it is. Because an NPC might actually be able to explain to me why things are floating, like why there are mountains floating in the sky. There could be any number of reasons why in the game's story you're explaining how things are the way that they are. But at the moment, that is not being done. Right now, we've got the climb feature is still on. That's fine. I got through the pillars. These pillars of lava that aren't, and that's okay. Oh, okay. I got the jump on. everyone gets the group ability. Only my group has the ability.
I would go with everyone gets the ability.
Okay. So assuming you have a large pile of people who've registered for the next race, I'm seeing a flow issue here. In that everybody is going to be on the left side. So what is my group, right? Like there's not a reason for there to be different groups, and almost everyone is going to want the game to flow as fast as possible. Assuming this is a race, there's a timer. It says race begins. Why does it say race begins? Still. So I'm going to trigger everyone gets the ability. And someone has to be over here to trigger everyone gets the ability. And then only 2 people can get the item, which we must equip. Ah, almost fell. And we're using the dancing gauntlets first. I would probably recommend you don't pick the dancing gauntlets as the first one, but rather instead pick the... oh, I'm supposed to go there. Okay. Huh. Instead, pick the double jump boots, because that's going to give someone a more familiar perk. Okay.
Double jump is my go-to ability. I've been hitting jump twice ever since I got into the sandbox. And I know that we just recently got it, but every single time I do something in the sandbox, I've always hit that button twice. So now that we're finally double jumping,
What happened?
I'm itching. I'm scratching that itch that I didn't even know was there.
Okay, so another thing just happened. 2 things actually. First is that the join race function kicked me out of the race. Maybe that's okay. I don't know, because we have, like, you're expecting your player to get through the race in a certain amount of time. And I am giving feedback, but that's probably going to disappoint people when they play through your experience. If they get kicked out of the race, they don't get the agency that a player is going to want. Your players should be in control of their destiny, not okay. I'm going to talk about this lava here in a sec. That lava should not deal just like a couple damage. That lava should deal enough damage that it just straight up ends the character. Forgive me. Oh, hey, I got pushed off the map. But anyway, when I drop in this lava, you see how it deals 25 damage, and it ticks every second or half a second.
Yep.
You want that to just kill the player. Lava hurt. And in a race, I want the... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, these are just going in a rotating circle. Aha. Aha! I understand it better now.
You got the pattern down.
Platform will go in the lava, water, and then it'll rotate.
Go down.
Okay, and we're going, and we're going, and we're going. Okay, come on now, let me go. There we go. Okay, we climbed. Everyone gets the ability. So after I got despawned and respawned, if you were going to restart the race every time race begins in time, then make sure that all of your events that could happen reset as well. So this gate is going to stay permanently open according to your current code, but when we kick off this race begins in timer, you should be respawning the assets that you have taken away. And then, yeah, so the second thing that happened over here that I didn't mention before was these platforms and that entire path are totally useless to the flow of the player. So that either serves as an intentional distraction, Where you
red
should have
herring.
maybe an NPC over there that kind of goes like neener neener neener, or can I? Oh, there we go. Okay. Or you need to get rid of it just entirely.
I do like the look of the spiky wall. It is very menacing. But yeah, if there's nothing to it, then
Oh, I didn't even mean the spiky wall. I meant
oh,
you see all those brown wooden platforms, including the one that's spinning. That
gotcha,
entire
yes.
path away from the spiky wall is totally useless and just kind of ends down there, and there's no way up here to this checkpoint.
Mm,
So I'd like to see that change for the player to have their expectations met. Um, this little rope climb we've got going on here. As we climb this ladder object, there should be a platform at the top because a lot of players are going to fall off front or back before they get to wherever they're supposed to go. And it's not completely apparent which way I'm supposed to go. If I should go this way. And I think it's this way. But the flow of the level doesn't automatically indicate that. If you just put this particular ramp pointed more at the rope ladder or have the rope ladder end at the ramp, then that would be more obvious. Like, this is the path we're still supposed to take. Can I swim in this? Am I supposed to? That crocodile over there looks super cool.
You can swim in anything if you've got the willpower.
It seems like I'm supposed to climb over there, but I cannot swim in there, alas. Also, I don't die when I land on the ground over here. Okay, so I like this level for the ability to give the feedback, right? Because there's a lot of small stuff that you'd be like, why would somebody do that? And this is exactly what we talked about at the top of the show. You, the dev, you know exactly which way to go. What is the path? Why am I going there? Etc. But that water is a single layer. I can't swim in it, so I fell into it and fell through it, and that's fine. If you put a fence around it or an inability to get into the water, like if I walked up to the water and there was a little pop-up that said I shouldn't go swimming, that then you could put an invisible wall there, and the character, your player character, has its own motivations that you're like, oh, I can't go swimming because there's a crocodile over there. So let's try to register for the next race again. Once again, only have 5 minutes. And now you're going to start to see how it is speed runnable and the difficulties therein. Iverson, I don't want to appeal to girls under 25. I'm 37. It's weird.
I'm touching that comment. I'm just going to stay away from it.
Right? I mean, it's fun.
But I will agree, he does look quite handsome.
Oh, thank you. You know. I wish it wasn't so darn tickly in my nose today. Oh, come on. Okay, so that happened twice. That's not just a little fluke. These pylon thingies, I don't know if it's the way they're angled, but it's positioned when your character gets squished. It's pushing me off the map to the right, and that is doing a murder on the player. Which, you know, again, I did sort of want those to just murder the player completely because they're made out of lava, but also, if we're going to change those to logs or something, then the murder is probably excessive.
Okay.
Doo-doo. Boo-doo, boop, boop, boo-doo-doo.
Toby and Craft says, sorry guys, I was late for the stream. Thanks for all the feedback.
Hey, no problem.
Toby, is this your game? Or is the game before yours?
Can't remember. Mesozoic Jump was just submitted by, I'm going to guess that was submitted by Tom. Climb the thing. I shouldn't have a climbing struggle there.
Mesozoic Jump.
We've got it
by Tom Voxel. And I am excited to see that one because Tom makes some magical stuff.
We're going to have a good time for sure. We'll have lots of time to test it based on how much time we got right now. At least, we should be able to give that at least 30 minutes. Okay, so the stairs make it pretty obvious of which way we're going. And then we get here.
That bird is super menacing.
Am I going this way? Which bird? This one right there?
There was a shadow. It was over you.
That bird right there?
And it was foreboding. Yep. It's colorful, but you know what? So is a poison dart frog.
True. Okay, so as we're climbing up the stairs, because the stair texture is different than the environment textures, it's fairly obvious on which way we should go. But when we get to the top, we get back to the environment textures. So what we want to do is, yeah, I actually played Rotate Rush, Tobin. So if you want to, scrabble back, is that what that is? What's that called? It's not scroll. Is like whatever. There's a term in music design. Doesn't matter. Anyway,
Just term for what? I'm confused what you're trying to get at.
I'm trying to say press the seek function to return to the beginning of the video, and you're going to see the Rotate Rush playtest. I'm feeling real good about Rotate Rush right now, Tobin. But check it out. We got some little things.
Yeah.
Feeling real good about it.
We had to work hard to find things to critique.
Anyways, but we're talking about like pathing for the player. You can texture in the ground intentionally to give the player natural pathing to say, I must go this way. So like this patch of grass, even though it's not a wall, it does sort of imply don't go that way. You want to go around it, right? Like players will naturally do so. So these stairs right here, because they are textured differently, right here, I don't, the way the ground is kind of shows me that we need to go up that direction. But why not stairs here? Why not keep the texture consistent at the absolute bottom? And then now we know to go up this way. And then at the top, why not stairs here? Like, make the stairs continue here. So instead of these rocks that just popped up out of nowhere, make the stairs go all the way up.
You want the pathway to be consistent.
Yeah, and then the texture on the edges over here should not be stair-like. The texture on the edges over here should not be stair-like. And the textures through the middle here, this should be a path. And why should it be a path? Oh man, the join race thing is getting me again. It should look like a path because let's assume that in your world that you have built here, people consistently walk through that area. If you walk through the exact same straight line through a field all day, every day, you create a path, yes. So let's build that texture into your world to imply that the player has created a path. Or so many people have run through your game that it has created a path. And you could do the same thing here with this ground. It doesn't have to all be dirt, though the dirt is fine. You could create that ease way. Nope.
I like that idea. I like the idea of a well-worn path.
Yeah, and the same thing could happen here. Like that texture could be paths, and you could show people that you can go this way or this way with that texturing, not just using the basic dirt path. It would also help imply that that both switches must be flicked, because somebody might get to one switch and go, why does this not work? And they're not going to think that the whole time because they're going to read and figure it out. But after flicking their switch, they're going to ask it immediately.
And maybe a combo of the switches, like Joe said, maybe both will be flicked. But if both are flicked, maybe that turns things off. But clearly label that.
Oh, let's climb again. The climb is weird here. Climb is weird here. We got up.
I like the vines as a ladder. Aesthetically, those are quite pleasing. But yeah, Joe's right. There needs to be a top at them, or it needs to lead to the top, because a lot of players, myself especially, is going to fall off of that. I'm going to get to the top of it, I'm going to fall off, and I'm just going to be like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get frustrated.
This little cave situation you got going on in here, like I want to climb under it. I don't know why.
I mean, who doesn't like a good set of caves?
Is
Joe?
that the right direction? Okay. Well, this is wild. Like, I want the rope bridge to actually be the way I'm supposed to go, but also I want this to be the path. Like, it turns out neither. They're both subverting my expectation. Neither one is important, and I just continue on through. And there's a thing, flying jetpack.
Up the vines to the side of the. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Flying jetpack. Okay.
How do I jetpack and why? So the player, when they acquire your flying jetpack, is not going to know how to do jetpack, nor are they going to know why they want to jetpack. So at the
What
moment,
is point?
when I picked it up, oh, see, the race ended, but now I got a jetpack, so who cares? Let's go! I don't even need to start this race.
And now the water works to your advantage.
Yep, but the obstacles don't. Now we're breaking the game in whole new ways. Why is there a tiger that can kill me? Look at this angry tiger.
To assume any tigers can't kill you is just hubris in its finest.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the jetpack, and we don't know why we've got the jetpack. We've got a jetpack because there's a cloud over there, and I need to get to that cloud. Is that it? I'm trying to get to that cloud. Where's the end of this race? You know what I mean? We're lacking clarity on the direction once we've got the jetpack, and the player doesn't know how to use the jetpack because there's no prompt that says press F to use the jetpack. Oh, look at that. See, I told you, Tobin, this was a good game. Cyberdragon in the chat over on youtube.com saying to Tobincraft, who created the last experience that we were testing, excellent work. Can you publish it on the land and send a link? They want to get it featured inside the Sandbox game.
That's
so
awesome.
There we go. That is cool.
That's called a love connection right there. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Okay, so it seems like we've come to the end of this experience in that I don't know where we're going anymore. There's no pathing.
We got Sir Lank in the crowd in the chat, and they are the ones who created it.
Hey! The end is in a cloud. Okay, so I assume it is in a cloud over there, but this is part of your world building, things that I would change, right? So if you've been watching, hopefully you've been watching the rest. If not, scroll back a little bit, check out the rest of the video where we can take the little bits. But if I grab this jetpack, and you've got this really cool like statue thing going on, you've got a couple opportunities for an NPC. One of them could be that the actual like Maori statue, or it talks to me and tells me.
Island head could say, "Hey, put exactly. Use the jetpack."
Thank you. Yes, or you could have a regular prompt for press F to use the jetpack, and the statue tells me that I've connected to the spirit world and I need to go live in the clouds, and that helps me know I need to go to that cloud with the jetpack to end the race, which now I can see the finish flag and I got a victory screen. But I broke the game in a few ways. Sir Lank, if you're watching this on the YouTube video, you're leaving a really good point right now. You said, thanks for your comments, although I don't speak English. I'll watch the replay more closely. I believe that YouTube will allow you to closed caption, and it will translate to closed captions. So check that out.
Translate. That's awesome.
Anyway, so when I go, I can't see the finish line flag at the end. So I don't know that that's the destination for the finish.
Maybe a big arrow that's just pointing down that says finish line.
Yes.
Finish line.
Yes.
Finish
or the
line.
whole terrain can have that checkered mark, you know. If it is a race, that's normal and expected. Now, I'm going to prep the next experience. Mesozoic jump. It's right here at the start. Tom Voxel, give me like 2 minutes, Tom, and I'm going to be right back. I need to blow my nose. I'm tired of sniffling.
Go for it.
Thank you.
But yeah, Sir Lank, the majority of what we were saying was just tightening the game up and giving a little more direction to the players as far as what you wanted them to do and what they needed to do to accomplish the goals that you had set forth for them. And at the very end, when the player got the jetpack, having the finish line so far off in the distance, I think that due to the way that the game works, when you look off in the distance, you can't actually see that the flag on the cloud until you get a little closer. So once we got out a little farther, then it populated. But when we were back all the way at the beginning where the jetpack was, I don't believe the cloud populated the flag. We could see the flag, or we could see the cloud. We couldn't see the flag on the cloud. So there just needs to be more and a larger more for that to be visible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you for making a game and submitting it.
So we're gonna have about 30 minutes.
Success, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. Except for this loading screen, you know what I'm saying, dog? It's crazy. It's taking a while. I recently upgraded my. I mean, yeah, as successful as one can be. I'm allergic to my own dog, so there's that.
I found so one of my buddies, he's the best dog dad in the world. I've never met I feel like I'm a pretty good dog parent. I dote on my little girl, and she eats better than I do, and she had healthcare well before I did. And even all that, my buddy still he outshines everyone when it comes to being a dog parent. And the other day I was talking to him, and he recently got a cat because he saw me with mine, and he was like, I just really envied that relationship. So he's like, I found a cat in a dumpster, so I took her home with me. And he's like, I've fallen in love with this little creature, and the best thing is I'm not allergic to her. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not allergic to her? And he goes, oh, well, my boy, I'm deathly allergic to him. I have to take a lethal amount of Benadryl just to be in the same room. And if I touch him, my arms break out in hives, and it's really hard for me to breathe. And I'm like, dude, you've had him for 12 years, and I've seen you go on 5K runs with him. And he's just like, yeah. Oh, we run together. I'm like, how are you running if you can't breathe? He's like, that's what inhalers are for. And I'm just like, what? So yeah, being allergic to your dog, it's a thing apparently. And I am just, living life on hard mode, says Cyber Dragon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my dog is hypoallergenic, apparently. I found that out a couple days ago. I thought that was pretty cool, but I've never met a dog owner that was deathly allergic to their own dog and still
Speaking of
them as good.
Little critters, look at this cute kitty cat. Ah.
She's wonderful.
She doesn't disappear in the green screen effect. Okay, so I spawn in. There's a clear intentional direction. Where do I need to go? It's right there. We got a quest. We got a destination. Join the race is an option. But my brain said path, go left. Put an obstruction here for no reason at all. Maybe the truck instead of over there. Put the truck over here, parked in the way.
I see what you're saying. Just block things off with it.
Yeah. Hello. I see you're here for the mystical Mesozoic race. Could you help me with a simple errand? It's not going to influence your time much. Sure. Why not? Collect 15 dinosaur DNA sequences on your race pass. It will help us study these amazing creatures. Alright. This character. I would just put this little NPC a little bit more left. Right here. Why? Because they're in the path. I mean, obviously they're not directly in the path because they are on a green. But I like them here. Catching their attention. We spawn here. They should be closer, and it'll make the exclamation mark stand out a little bit more. Right now, depending on the angle, the exclamation mark is slightly hidden with the fire effect, and the destination here. That's pretty cool. Got an audio cue that's happening, a little tick tick. That's nice. We're locked in. Yeah, go ahead.
Is this the right game? Because Tom said it was Mesozoic jump. I know this is Jurassic jump, and Mesozoic and Jurassic are kind of interchangeable terms.
How do I see the name of the game? In the top right? I thought it said Mesozoic in the first. Oh,
wait. Tom's commenting on it, so obviously this is the right game.
Yeah. It's there so you can see her waving later. Okay. So she was she saying goodbye when we got there? Okay, so as we come into this, hopefully the race timer doesn't have me lose immediately. Um, boy, so we got these lily pads that are here, right? The lily pads are really cool. Um, I'm being nitpicky, but I'm doing it on purpose. All right, Tom. Uh, the boat has crashed here. The collisions, you see how it kind of like jerks around, literally. Um, this is the very first step for the player. Old title is up there, Tom says, so this is the correct game. But this boat, you should have no opportunity except to clamber in it. So put the boat, like turn the boat, so that this the the stern, I think is the name of this part of the boat, should be faced at the dock, or is that aft? I sure hope I'm getting that right, chat. Should be faced at the dock so that it points in the direction
Stern
of.
is the back of the boat.
Yeah, I did it correct. I want the boat to point me in the direction of where I should be going. The boat has crashed. The boat has been splashed up against by this tentacle monster business. I want the boat to say, we started here and we're going this way. Use it as an arrow.
Just for future reference, the front of the boat, that's the bow.
Ah, thank you. And then the lily pads. Given the opportunity here, don't just make the lily pads be floaty. Give them a no collision stem for the lily pads if we're going to be using them, because the water level has maybe changed or something.
Something holding them up.
Yes, like more of these vines even would be fine. But maybe not those vines, because those vines look climbable. But you know what I mean. If we're going to use these lily pads here, then it should be that. If it's going to be, because it seems like you're trying to keep this on a realism theme. Okay, and we've got an arrow here. So this is interesting because so far, theme-wise, you don't really need the arrow. The arrow is a nice to have, but it is taking me out of the theme a little bit. Make a bone arrow. You know, like make it apparent that I need to go that way.
Thematically the same.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but that's just going to set it apart in this experience. The DNA. DNA was there. Make the collection on that DNA a little bit bigger. I'd like to just passively be able to rush through that. If I'm still racing and she says it's not going to affect your time too much, well, rest in pepperonis. Here I go dying again. Oh. Also noting that the audio cue for unsheathing, excuse me, my dog is barking. A human must be here. Okay. That's the saving grace.
I feel like this
is too hard right here.
This experience
How do I get
is made
across?
a lot better by one of the updates from 0.11, and that is the ability to see through the objects to see where your character is in the setup. Like being able to see through that wooden plank and know where you are makes this a lot more fun.
I agree. It is nice to know where I am, but how do I get across? Okay, right here. Right here. This is kind of, we are supposed to go up, but we're not supposed to go up yet. There's no way to climb that from here. I think we're supposed to jump across with running fast, but feedback-wise, looks like the Hawk speaker is not triggering the hint to use the air dance before the bridge. I don't even know how to air dance. Is it this control button?
Hawk is supposed to
Aha!
train you, so it would give you clues
Yes.
and keys on how to do what you do.
So, yeah, we don't have the double jump shoes on. We have the air dance gauntlets. So, that, this is a stupid small thing, but hawks can't talk, crows can.
I'm
Ravens.
sorry, what now?
Hawks can't talk. Ravens and
But crows
crows
can?
can. Quoth the raven. Double jump. All right, like, you know what I mean? Like, they can teach me how to prance about.
Also like that you're slowly sliding backwards while dancing.
Ah! Okay. So that guy doing a great job. He's teaching me just climb this bad boy. But it moves. It moves and I fall off. All right, let's try this again.
Yo, Jet, his upper body strength is just impressive because the
Bruh.
fact that he's been clinging to that while it's moving, that's just wild. I don't know how he's doing that.
How do I climb? How do I climb this rope vine?
Well, I think, wait, yeah, it's the
Ah!
rope vine is going behind the DNA, so you need to stay in front of it. So you will also be.
Yeah, I just want to I just want to grip it and it actually grip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This game's going crazy right now. It's not consistent. Why do I keep falling off?
Do you airwalk across to get it?
Should I just yeet myself across? That didn't work.
Shred it.
That didn't
Airwalk.
that didn't work. Why? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, I got a DNA.
Oh, cool.
You're not supposed to go that way. Oh, no. It was intuitive,
Wait,
and then it became unintuitive.
Oh, never mind.
What, the bridge?
I was gonna say go back to that area where you were like, yeah, the kind of the bridge maybe where it was like where you walked to the left and you went all the way to the side. I was thinking maybe there was a hidden DNA over there. Like once you go into the back, go forward and backwards, or sorry, side to side.
Ah! Well, here I go dying again. Okay.
My bad.
No, it's fine. That was a good idea. Put a DNA there. Put a reason for me to accidentally do dumb things. Or I can feel good as a player. It, you know. Like, I explored over there for no reason. So,
the item with Jet, where it's swinging back and forth, in Game Maker, it's a lot slower. So it's a lot easier to get to.
Ah, I see. Oh.
I love that jump. It's so much fun.
Ah! Oh! No! Get back here! What are you doing to me? Okay, we're climbing. We're climbing. We're climbing. Gamer. Alright.
Gamer, go up. Gamer, go up.
Okay, alright. Control. We know. Okay, why? Why am I the way that I am? Find out at 11.
Because you're wonderful.
Oh, thank you. What? Ah! Ah! Okay, alright. Okay. Having some difficulty, not bad. I'm not really getting punished too much. I don't feel, you know, disappointed. But it is also control plus the need for a shift jump. And I think I'm just going to keep getting stuck here, aren't I? What?
Oh, it slowed down. How did it slow down?
I don't
Oh,
know,
never mind.
but also it
Sped back
sped
up.
up again.
But it did slow down.
Where did you go? Where did he go? Look, he just left. He just left. He went to space. He said, I'm a ticking clock now. Okay, alright. Okay, Jet. Okay, I see you.
Tom, did you just update something in the back end?
I
Because
don't. I
it
don't.
looks like was it what's it Jet? It looks like Jet decided to like change speeds on us.
Oh my goodness. Wait, Jet. No, don't go slow now. Get. Why? Why did you speed up, Jet? Jet. Jet. Jet.
Why don't you just
He
I have a
goes
question.
slower when he goes to the right, but he doesn't go
Okay.
slow when he comes back.
Okay.
I want it.
Okay.
I want to grip it. I want to. Let me grip it. Let me hold you, Jet. Let me hold on to you, Jet. I just want a piggyback ride, Jet.
Just let me love you, Jet.
Accept my love, Jet.
Come on.
You king. No.
Jet's just afraid of his
Hateful,
feelings.
hateful Jet.
That's all there is.
You're
That's all
hateful.
there is to it.
That's. He said no. He said nay. He said I don't like the way this feels. We're done now. That's what he said.
Jet, you disappoint me.
Okay. So we got some struggling going on. There's a big old struggle bus right here. This jet mechanic, throw it out. You know what I mean? Just give me 2 ladders to climb. Let me jump between 2 ladders. The swingy jet thing is cool, but latency is affecting it, and it's weirdly fast. No,
So you
no.
couldn't just turn on air jump the control and just run across this whole space?
Oh my goodness. It just when I get near jet, it like tries to auto clamber jet.
Ah,
Yeah. Nope. Cannot. Alas.
fiddlesticks.
Jet, you're so slow now. What happened, Jet? Why? Why do you gotta troll me? What's going on?
He's like, Joe is just far enough away. I'm gonna slow
I.
down while he
It's
can't
okay.
see
I
me.
know what it is. I know what it is. Turn off collision on Jet.
Okay.
The ropes are fine. Jet has his collision on, so I keep hitting him. I think. Like I want to occupy the space. No
He said
collisions
there's no
on
collision on
Jet.
Joe.
On Joe. There's no
I
collision
think that's what
on
I
Joe.
meant to say or what I tried to say, but I don't think that's what came out.
Okay, it works
Hmm?
okay if I just like
Oh.
if I
Oh.
just climb higher. So
Joe, you
maybe
did it.
it's the pivot point is too much. I don't know. It's
I
crazy.
don't know, but you did it, and I'm
I'm
proud of
crazy
you.
for it. I'm actually cracked. I'm a pro gamer now.
You did it. Did it.
Oop, we're going this way. The jungle. Welcome to the jungle. What's up? Collect your equipment. Jumping shoes. And you're teaching me how to use jumping shoes.
Love the airdrop box, by the way. Oh, there's so much DNA, Joe. So much. And there's that bird again. Taunting you.
There's a pterodactyl that's actually taunting me. A pterodactyl saying, "What are you gonna do about it, Joe?"
First things first.
I'm the realist.
You had a problem with the talking hawk, but you're okay with the talking pterodactyl?
It's not actually talking.
But you said it was talking, Joe.
It's just saying
I
it with its
believe you.
eyes. All right. Look at the
Okay.
look at the
Okay.
body
He's
language
mean
on
mugging
this.
you. Yeah. He's mean mugging you. I got it.
He's over there. He's like, "Brrr." That's it. That's all he does. He sounds like a pigeon, actually. Turns out. All right. So now we got a jetpack. Now we don't have to give a crap about any of this. Bye bye.
Apparently, the airdrop box was made by the amazing hologram. Nice. Good shout out, Tom.
We go again. Through the grating. No! Ow! 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 That hurt! No!
So Jazz Wolf said it would be nice if we had the song "Welcome to the Jungle" in the Game Maker. And Jazz, you are just spot on.
Oh, this hurts. This hurts. Turns out lava hurt.
Falling into lava. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. Falling into lava bad.
Ah. All right. Let's just try this again. This guy taught me how to fly just there. But we knew how to fly. Also, we should totally learn how to fly. Can I just not? Okay. Let me just not be good. I'm just actually trash. Straight up now tell me, do you really want to fly forever? Yes. No!
So we had King Charles in the chat asking, is volcano supposed to be spelled like that? It's currently in the game spelled Vulcano. And this is a lesser known spelling from the planet Vulcan. So in certain areas, it's a regional thing.
This guy just making stuff up real quick. He said,
that's kind of what I do.
He said bet. He said bet. Definitely. Look at this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me just climb the wrong side of that. That's pretty good. This is funny. It's actually funny to me. I'm enjoying. Wait, what? What was that? What happened there?
Well, what?
I don't know. I was walking on sunshine. Literally, like...
Dude, every single time I stream with you.
What happened?
Walking on sunshine.
Whoa. I don't feel good. Can I not? Can I just not? Can I not? I'm actually back. So, it's... Okay. Good news. Multiple avenues of approach. Bad news, I'm not sure that this really like highlights flight as best it could. Okay. Because what's happening with the camera angle here is I don't know when obstructions are coming. If you're going to make this like hugely vertical space, I assume this is using the full 128 blocks of the space and it's like off to the side as a third part of the level. My dog, can you not though? My dog.
Your dog's adorable.
No.
You're doing dog stuff.
This is not adorable. There's somebody at the door, and they're like, I really want you to pet me, so I'm going to bark at you. Not the smartest dog in the world. You could tell by the high-pitched yelp that there's definitely a person there. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I hate it. So anyway, the... the flight mechanics, right? If I'm going to have a flight mechanic, I would probably space out the obstacles a little bit more and give me like some kind of pre-warning that this is about to happen. So you've got all these like blades that we want, right? Those are cool. The fans that are in there that are pushing up the steam effect, that's cool. Let's make it so that there's a second fan down there that has no collision on, that is just shadows, if that makes sense. Like, before I get to the fan, I see the shadow of the other fan.
Oh, okay.
So I come up from one fan.
An idea of what you're coming into.
Yes, and the other fan has less blades on it. I want it to have 4 blades instead of 8 blades, and maybe one of those blades is broken. And so the shadow...
Broken blade, you say?
Yes, so the shadow that I see preempting it, I know that it's rotating, and the shadow has the empty blade, you know, like if it's this blade is broken, and it's spinning. And that shadow is going to indicate to me which direction it is spinning, so I know where to move my flight to as I continue to fly. And now it's skill-based flight. It's not just flight for flight's sake. And the way that this is designed right now, or don't fly if you don't see where you're going. Jump until you're in the open, but good advice, thanks. And that's the thing. You gave me the flight tool, and this particular game jam is about, you know, promoting the new tools of 0.11. So we can make a really fun double jump experience. I think you did that. You can make a really fun, like, dance with the control button experience. I think you did that. Now, can we make a really fun flight experience as like the capstone of we went through this Mesozoic period? Now I'm trying to wonder why I have this technology in the Mesozoic period, but that's whatever. It doesn't really matter.
It's a Jurassic Park Mesozoic period. Yeah. Because there's also like mortar and bricks and fans.
Yeah, so. Right. Yeah, so like if we are in the Jurassic Park, then, you know, now you could also have in kind with that, like if we're focused on flight in this third section, pterodactyls that we saw in section 2 in the background are now flying up the level. While you're doing your flight mechanics to go up the level, the pterodactyls are flying up the level as well. And they're not trying to get you, but they're flying through and they're flying off the side or something, like in a loop. You could put them in a circle because I'm flying up and they're just going to be a cool visual effect. We're all trying to escape the cage that is this area in the same way. Me and the pterodactyl homies, you know. And you get a finish line at the top as well. So, you know, making this a flight-based speed run obstacle thing, good finish, right? I think you can, you know, just promote that mechanic a little bit better, and it'll be a little bit more on theme. It'll also make it'll take away some of the tedium of that last experience. Because I can intentionally go around the climbable parts on the outside to grab those DNAs that I needed. I actually still need a couple DNAs. She's telling me that. That's really good. But if I want to focus on the DNA, then that gives me replayability. That gives me a reason to climb, like manually walk up. I'd love to do that, but that dino has a huge branded base plate like a sculpture. Okay, so yeah, that would be something. I don't know if in 3 days, you know, this is a lot to do in a 3-day period before the end of the submission, but this is something that you could possibly consider when you think about but like before you publish this to a land, because this is publishable right now. I think people would enjoy this experience as it is right now.
Absolutely.
It's high quality. But I want to work on the game flow for that player to make it super exciting and interesting. You've got a race time timer here. Again, it's a big experience, so the timer is going to be big, and the disparity between two players is going to be big. So the more we can make this game flow feel like it's skill-based play, you know, easy to access, difficult to master. That's what you want when you do something that is a race. But the game, solid. I think it's solid all the way around. You can see the one real outstanding thing to fix is the adventure jet swinging on the pitfall style vine. Okay, somebody's asking a question here. Off the top of my head, I don't know the answer to because I don't do these streams as often as I used to, but it says, when will those who won alpha passes from a few streams ago be sent? In times past, it happened once weekly.
Pen has been sending them out in batches. When you say a few streams ago, that could mean, weeks ago, and that could mean a couple days ago. So let me be a little more specific. What show did you win it on? And I can follow up with Panda and see about that show if they've gone out yet. And if they have, then we'll rectify the situation. But Manovic, what day was it? If you could drop me a date, that would be appreciated and helpful.
All right.
And also, Tom's game, I don't know why, but it gave me some Pitfall vibes, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
That's if for those not familiar with it, Pitfall was one of the original Atari games. It's like a 1982 release or something like that, I think, maybe even earlier. But yeah, it had swinging vines, and instead of pterodactyls, you'd have like alligators and stuff. And it really gave me some Pitfall vibes, and that was good for me. I love the old original Atari games. They are my genesis, and I really appreciated feeling that. So I don't know why I felt that looking at this, but I did, and I wanted to say it.
Yeah. Well, there's also the there's also the possibility. I'm thinking about that vine and like, how do we fix that? One way that you could fix it is to just put a platform, like use the platform left to right effect, like put a ladder there that's invisible, something that I can grip just like you did. But instead of making the entire vine climbable, don't make it swing like this. Put a platform there that only takes me left to right, and then have the vine swing on the same, so the vine is the only actual visual representation. So yeah, the player won't like dip and move like this, but mechanically it would be cleaner. In the engine it would work better. Your player will move straight sideways, but the rope is still going to like sort of give you that vibe. And then you'll just be able to jump off nicely after that. With that said, folks, we're coming up to the end of our time here on the GMAE show. We ran through a couple of games, had some really good experiences, and got a lot of feedback through these playtests. So if you are finishing up those experiences, just know these game jams, this particular game jam will be ending in just a couple of days. So you want to make sure that you get your game submitted and published inside the Sandbox Game Maker software. It happens at least once or twice every single game jam. Someone will submit into the form for the game jam to get their game tested, but they will forget to publish the game inside the Sandbox Game Maker software. So please make sure that you do publish those experiences if you're developing them, because I want to play them, and I can't review your game based off of your YouTube video. So the YouTube video inclusion is just in case I get stuck, I can have a better understanding of where I need to go. But aside from that, aside from that, I can't say that I tested your game without actually being able to do so.
And we want to.
Absolutely. I got to play. You know what I mean? Got to have some fun with your experiences. So far, these are pretty good. I'm already having fun. If this is indicative of the quality of these games that are going to get submitted, this is going to be a really good game jam. And that's coming up in about 3 days now. It's the end of the submission period. So make sure that if you're going to make some changes based on this feedback, get those changes in. Otherwise, if you're still submitting, you're still designing, keep in mind these principles that we talk about here on the show. And I'll be back for another GMAE show in the next game jam. And we'll probably be doing those on Saturdays, but it might be flexible. We'll see what that date is based on my schedule that has recently changed. Nonetheless, folks, thank you so much for submitting to the forum and asking me to play test these games, because it's just a lot of fun and it's nice to see you in the chat. And I hope to see you again.
Absolutely.
Lucas, good morning.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us today.
Good afternoon, good evening, chat. That's so funny. I try to set him up for it, but he's not normally having to co-host for Joe.
That's just my usual sign-off. So
I know. It's a good
your
one.
Usual sign-off.
I did. We were going to ping-pong the good morning, good afternoon, good evening thing, but it doesn't matter, chat. Maybe Lucas can be back for the next one, and you didn't ruin anything. All right. We'll see you later, everybody.